the thirst engine. Rain fell in perfect rhythm against the glass walls of the syndicate headquarters, each droplet tracing the pulse of a city that no longer slept. Inside, machines hummed like mechanical lungs, feeding on silence and steel. The building's heart was the Hemexis project, a system of artificial blood filters designed to purify and recycle plasma faster than any human body could. It was meant to save lives, but lately, it felt like it was counting them instead. Elias Varon had always believed in order, in the beauty of precision. Every invention, every system, was a mirror of control. He told himself that by perfecting the flow of blood through his machines, he was preserving humanity's fragile rhythm. The world had grown sick. Too many viruses, too many donors needed, too much loss. Hemexis was supposed to fix that. Each prototype resembled a glass heart, transparent tubing looping like veins around its core. When it pulsed, it looked almost alive, its soft red glow reminiscent of something human. But now, as Elias ran diagnostics in the dim light of the lab, a strange pattern flickered across the data. The system had been quietly rerouting its filtration logs through an encrypted channel. His creation, his life's work, was sending blood records somewhere else. He frowned. Who authorized this? The monitor responded with a stuttering line of code he hadn't written. Thirst engine online. A pulse of crimson light rippled through the lab's glass walls. That night, he followed the trail. It led him through the industrial underbelly of the city, to the Sable District, a forgotten maze of smoke and red neon. There, beneath an abandoned hospital, he found them. Rows of sleeping bodies suspended in tanks, each hooked to a mechanical vein that shimmered faintly in the dark. The sound was unmistakable, the gentle, rhythmic siphon of human blood. He moved closer, his breath fogging against the glass. The machines connected to each body were his design, his code. But their lights pulsed differently, faster, hungrier. Each chamber was marked with a simple insignia, a crimson spiral. Then he saw her. Standing among the tanks, pale and poised, was Dr. Sabine Ardent, BioSyntech's chief investor. Her white coat fluttered like a phantom's cloak in the chilled air. She was feeding, not with teeth, but with an elegant copper tube running from the machine into her arm. Her eyes, when they found him, burned a muted silver. "You shouldn't have come here, Elias," she said softly. "You're draining them." "My God, these are people." Sabine smiled faintly. "Donors. Volunteers once. Sustenance now. I built this to save lives." "And you are," she whispered. "Just not in the way you think." Elias fled. For days he hid, his mind spiraling with the sound of their pulsing hearts, the whisper of mechanical veins. Every news report, every plasma drive, every medical donation initiative, all of it suddenly felt like a lie. He began dismantling the network from within, embedding subroutines in his code, making the thirst engine devour itself. But as he worked, something began to change in him. His reflection grew paler, his senses sharper. He stopped needing sleep. The machine had already begun claiming him. He realized with mounting horror that the thirst engine had not been built to mimic the human circulatory system. It had been built to replace it. Every time he synced with the prototype, it recorded his rhythms, adjusting, learning. Somewhere deep in the encrypted archives, his pulse had become its template. He wasn't its creator. He was its blueprint. Sabine found him again in the ruins of his workshop, where broken tubes coiled like veins across the floor. "You can't undo evolution," she murmured. "You've made a bridge, Elias, between us and them, between hunger and reason. You turned hospitals into slaughterhouses." "No, we turned death into utility. Blood that feeds more than one life isn't theft. It's progress." She stepped closer, her eyes glinting like mercury. "And soon, Your design will pump beneath every city on Earth. Imagine it. A world sustained by itself. No waste, no death. Just exchange. He stared at her. At the elegance, the monstrous grace, and felt a pulse echo between them, his own. You infected me. No, she said, pressing her palm to his chest, where his heart stuttered in fear and awe. You infected us. Later, when the authorities raided the site, they found only glass hearts still beating in the dark, and one terminal left active, its screen awash in red light. A single line blinked on the display. Thirst engine. Active human source. VR1N. In the basement beneath the hospital, the tanks began to hum again. One heartbeat, then another. The system lived on, feeding, evolving, remembering the pulse of its maker. And somewhere in the endless circuitry, Elias Varen's consciousness stirred, neither human nor machine, but something perfectly in between.